Assalamu alaikum and good morning everyone. I am Biomakairanalin P. Latif and I am the first reporter for Group 1 and our topic is about Lesson 1, What is Art? Introduction and Assumption. Before we understand art deeply, we should first ask a simple question. What is art? So in the first paragraph, it says that art is something that is perennially around us. It means that art is everywhere around us. Some people say that they are not interested in art, but their action shows that they actually care about it. For example, when a person chooses clothes that look good together, that is already art. When someone listens to music in the car, that is also an art. A student admiring the design of a church is appreciating art and buildings. Even watching and cheering for a dance shows on TV is enjoying art. These examples shows that people value beauty and creativity in their everyday life. Moreover, people always want to see and experience more art. Even if art is already around us, we still look for new and better experiences. For example, a person who always listens to only one kind of music genre may want to try to listen to other types of genre. Next one is someone who has only seen local churches may feel amazed when seeing big and beautiful cathedrals in other countries. So by that, this shows that people naturally look for more beauty. More so, Plato, a famous philosopher, was also mentioned. Plato said that as people grow, they begin to look for better and more beautiful things. What we liked before may not be enough for later. So he says that humans are never fully satisfied because we always want something more beautiful and meaningful. And this lesson, it talks about our desire for beauty, our ability to appreciate the beauty around us, and correcting wrong ideas about art. It teaches us that art is not only found in museums, but is part of our everyday life. So, the next part of this report is we are going to learn or we are going to know why do we need to study the humanities. This paragraph will explain to us, will give us an answer on how humans have always created things and how the meaning of art has changed over time. So, people have always tried to survive by farming, hunting, and making tools. But they didn't stop there. They also created things to improve life and leave a mark. Like, for example, building houses or crafting weapons. Because in the beginning, art meant any kind of skillful work people did with their hands. So the next part is the word art comes from the Latin word ars, which means a special skill, like making furniture, weapons, or performing surgery. Because back then, art was about following steps carefully to make something useful. Like for example, building a house or a tool, that things or those things was considered art because it needed planning and skill. People didn't think about beauty yet because art was practical back then. Moving on, moving on, during the Middle Ages, art also meant studying things like grammar, logic, or astrology. In the Renaissance period, people started seeing art as a craft again, but still, it was focused on skill, not beauty. But later on, people began to study aesthetics, which is about beauty and creativity. And that's when art started to be seen not only as useful, but also as something to enjoy and appreciate, like paintings, music, or sculpture. There are many other things that I haven't mentioned, but those things that you can think of is also an art.
The humanities constitute one of the oldest and most important means of expression developed by man, by Dudley et al. Ipinapaliwanag dito na ang humanities ay isa sa pinakaluma at pinakamahalagang paraan na pagpapahayag ng mga tao. In human history, hindi lamang tayo umunlad sa pisikal na aspeto kundi pati na rin sa kultura. Mula sa mga pintor ng kuweba hanggang sa mga bihasang artista ngayon. Kahit bago pa magkaroon ng written records of man's civilization, ang mga tao ay hindi lamang gumagawa ng tools para mabuhay kundi pati na rin ipinapahayag ang kanilang thoughts and feelings. Isang halimbawa nito ang galuping wild boar sa Cave of Altamira sa Espanya. A Spaniard and his daughter were exploring a cave nung nakita nila ang picture ng wild boar. Hind and Bison. According to expert, ang paintings ay mula sa Upper Paleolithic Age na ilang libong taon ang nakalipas bago ang kasalukuyang panahon. Ito ay nagpapakita na ang mga sinaunang tao gamit ang kanilang mga simpleng kagamitan ay nagsimula ng itala ang kanilang mga interes, pag-aalala at iniisip. So, ang humanities ay umiiral na bago pa ito bigyan ng pangalan at ang bawat tao ay may tungkulin na makilahok sa tradisyon ng pagiging tao. Let us now proceed to the assumption of art. Art is universal. So basically, one of the main assumptions about art is that it is universal, meaning it doesn't matter where you're from, what time period you live in, art connect us all. Like the text says, there are these super old literary works na tinuturo pa rin sa school worldwide. You've got the Greek epics Iliad and Odyssey, plus the Indian Mahabharata and Ramayana. These were written way before proper records were kept naman, but people kept passing them down through stories and song. Kasi even though they're from different places and time, the theme and message nila resonate with us pa rin ngayon. That's why art is timeless. It crosses generation and continents without any problem. A lot of people think lang na art is only the stuff made a long time ago, but that's totally wrong. Age doesn't make something art. There's this quote na, art is not good because it is old, but old because it is good. And honestly, that makes so much sense. For example, sa Philippines, we read works ni Jose Rizal, and Francisco Balagtas hindi dahil matanda na sila, kundi dahil maganda at may kabuluhan ang mga ito. Florante at Laura teaches us about pure love na pwede maintindihan kahit anong edad o panahon, while Ibong Adarna sparks imagination and teaches lessons that are still relevant ngayon. Even when we recite Psalm, we feel connected to King David. Or when we listen to kundiman or do folk dances, we enjoy them just like how our ancestor did. Sometimes even for different reason, like in the movie Bar Boys, one character says kundiman helps him concentrate better.
Good day, everyone. Today I will discuss the idea that art is not the same as nature. This topic helps us understand why artwork do not always look realistic and why that is completely acceptable in art. Many people believe art should look exactly like the reality. Some criticize movie and artwork for being unrealistic. This lesson explains why art is different from nature. Many people expect art, especially movies and painting, to look real. When it doesn't, they quickly judge it as wrong or unrealistic. But today, we will learn that art is meant to be an exact copy of reality. What is nature? Nature exists on its own. It is already given in the world. Humans do not create nature. For example, trees, mountains, and rivers. Nature exists when without humans, tree grows, rivers flow, and mountains stand naturally. These things do not need artists to exist. This helps us to understand why nature and art are not the same. So, what is art? Art is created by human. It is an expression of how the people see reality. Art shows thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Art is not direct a copy of nature. So, unlike nature, art is made by a people. Artists put their thoughts, emotion, and ideas into their work. Because of this, art becomes personal and expressive, not just a copy of what is seen. Art versus reality. Art does not need to be perfectly realistic. Movies are not exact mirror of real life. Art can reinterpret or distort reality. What matter is meaning, not accuracy. Art does not need to show reality exactly as it is. For example, movies, for example, after change of stories or exaggerated events, this does not make them wrong. It simply means they are presenting a different perspective. For example, Paul Cezanne painted a scene inspired by a real place. His painting looked different from photographs. He changed colors, shapes, and details. His work is an art, not a nature itself. Paul Cezanne painted a real landscape, but his work did not look like a photograph. He changed details to show how the personally show nature. This proves that art is not interpretation of not a replica. Why art look different? People see nature in different ways. Personal experience affect perception. Artists express their own viewpoint. This makes every artwork unique. Each person experiences life differently, so artists also see the world differently. Their background, emotion, and experience influence their art. That is why not two artworks are not exactly the same. The Blind Man and the Elephant. Each blind man touched a different part. Each described the elephant differently. No one saw the whole part, which view was limited but not completely wrong. In this story, each blind man described the elephant based on only the part he touched. Their description were different, not because they were lying, but because their understanding was limited. Connection to art. Artists are like the blind man. Each artist show only part of the reality. Art reflect on personal perception. Not single artwork showed full truth. Artists like the blind man present only part of the reality. Their work show how they understand the world. They is why art can never fully capture the reality and why that is acceptable. Purpose of art. Art is not meant to copy a nature. Art expresses ideas and meanings. Art communicates a feeling and message. Art invites interpretation. The purpose of art is not imitation but expression. Art allows people to communicate ideas, emotion, and message.
Good day everyone, I'm Javier Yuchiang. I'm the next reporter next to Farhan Ragundo. So my topic is about art involved experience. Art does not require a full definition. Sa una, parang ang hirap bigyan ng exact definition ng art. Pero karamihan sa mga tao, hindi naman talaga kailangan ng complicated definition. Kasi ang art, experience siya. When we say experience, ang ibig sabihin nito ay actual doing of something. Kapag sinabing mo may experience ka sa isang bagay, meaning alam mo siya dahil ginawa mo. Hindi dahil may nagsabi lang sa'yo. Example of this, kapag sinabi ng isang tao na nararanasan na niyang magmahal, masaktan at bumangon ulit, meaning alam na niya kung anong cycle ng love. Ganun din sa pagluluto. Kapag nararanasan mo na magluto ng isang recipe, masasabi mo alam mo na kung paano ito gawin. Iba ang knowing sa hearing. Kung may radio DJ na nagbibigay ng advice tungkol sa love, pero hindi pa niya ito nararanasan, hindi niya talaga lubos alam ang sinasabi niya. Same with art. Kung hindi mo pa ito ginagawa, hindi mo talaga ito maintindihan, yung art. Kaya sinasabi na art is always an experience. Knowing art comes from doing, not just information. Meaning, hindi ito tulad ng ibang subject na puro data at information lang. Ang art ay nalalaman sa pamamagitan ng pag-experience. Next naman is art and actual doing. Ang isang painter, hindi pwedeng sabihin marunong siyang magpinta kung hindi pa siya mahawak ng brush. Next, same with sculpture naman. Hindi makagagawa ng artwork kung hindi pa niya ginagamit ang chisel. Ibig sabihin, sa art, learnings comes from doing, hindi lang sa pagbabasa o panonood. Next naman is Rizal Monument. Example of this is para ma-appreciate natin ang monument ng ang ating national hero, si Rizal. Hindi lang sapat na magkita lang ito sa picture. Kailangan puntahan mismo sa Rizal Park at makita ang actual sculpture. Doon natin mas nararamdaman ang halaga at meaning ng artwork ni Rizal. Kasi ang art mas naiintindihan kapag nararanasan mismo. Same with music. Para masabi mong alam mo ang music ni Beyonce, hindi sapat na may nagsabi lang na maganda siya. Kailangan mo talagang pakinggan ang music niya. Kapag narinig mo ang lyrics at melody, doon mo mararamdaman at emotion at message ng art. Next example naman is yung si Picasso, Pablo Picasso. Isang magandang example din ay si Pablo Picasso. May kwento tungkol kay Gertrude Stein na tinanong kung bakit siya bumili ng artwork ni Picasso. Kahit hindi pa ito sikat noon. Ang kanyang sagot lang ay simple lang. I like to look at them. Ibig sabihin, hindi niya kailangan ng mahabang explanation or review. Sa pagtingin mismo ng artwork ni Picasso, doon niya naiintindihan ng art. So sa case ni Picasso, natutunan natin na makilala mo ang artist sa pamamagitan ng pag-experience ng kanyang gawa, hindi sa pagbabasa lang tungkol sa kanya. Next is subjectivity of art. In matters of art, mahalaga talaga ang perception ng tumitingin. Kahit magbasa ka ng maraming reviews tungkol sa isang movie, hindi mo pa rin talaga masasabi na alam ito hanggat hindi mo pa ito napapanood. Ang art ay personal, individual at subjective. Ibig sabihin, iba-iba ang magiging interpretation ng bawat tao. Depende sa kanyang taste, experience at emotion. Kaya nga sinasabi, matters of taste are not matters of dispute. Hindi natin pwedeng ipilit ang opinion natin sa art kasi magkakaiba tayo ng experience. Next naman is emotion. Every experience with art ay laging may kasamang emotion. Hindi pwedeng wala. Pwede mong magustuhan o hindi magustuhan ng isang artwork. Lalo na sa stage plays, movies, madalas silang nag-iibok ng strong emotion tulad ng masaya, malungkot, o galit at inspiration. Ang mga emotion na ito ay patunay na na-experience mo talaga yung art. Kung may nararamdaman ka, ibig sabihin may connection ka sa artwork. To wrap everything up, ang humanities at art ay laging bahagi ng paglago at civilization ng tao. Simula pa noon, ginagamit na ng tao ang art para ipahayag ang kanyang thoughts at feelings tungkol sa reality. May tatlong important assumption about art. First is art is universal. Ibig sabihin, may kita ito sa lahat ng lugar at panahon. Kaya nga universal. Next naman is art is not a nature. Dahil gawa ito ng isang tao, hindi pwedeng simple copy lang ng kalikasan. Kaya nga art is not a nature. Lastly naman is art need experience. Kung walang experience, walang art. Kaya nga, ang art ay kailangan ng experience. Para tunay natin maintindihan ng art, kailangan natin itong maranasan, hindi lang yung pag-usapan. That's all of my report. Thank you.